Loneliness and feeling alone are two of the silent diseases that are either tapping us on our shoulder or hammering very loudly on our doors. Now, as baby boomers, we've lived at least 6 decades, and so we have a vast amount of knowledge in terms of what friendship means. But as we enter our third act of life, we may experience friends who have died, or friends we've drifted apart from, friends we've fallen out with, friends we've outgrown. It doesn't matter where you are on the friendship journey. In today's show, what I'm going to do is highlight 6 types of friendships that could really benefit you as you move through your baby boomer years and beyond. So, we all experience lockdown, that moment in time whereby we were really faced with, do we feel alone or are we lonely? Now, there's a distinction here, for me anyway, that alone is when I feel isolated and disconnected. But lonely is when I have felt disconnected with myself. I've lost interest in myself momentarily around the interests that really do hold my attention. So in today's show, I'm going to be highlighting these 6 different types of friendships. But before I do any of that, if you're one of my regulars, welcome back. It's great to have you here. And if you're new here, welcome. My name is Bybreen Samuels, and I help baby boomers reinvent themselves psychologically, practically, and technically so they can thrive in their third act of life. So here we are on the cusp, or really into our third act. Now, the first type of friendship that I really would love you to cultivate a relationship with is with yourself, with you. You are your first and foremost and greatest friend. Now, the reason why I'm suggesting building this relationship with yourself, because as you're watching me on this screen, there's a voice that's going off in your head, and that's you. That's your higher self, your higher mind. It's the one that's always there, always present. And it's been with you from day dot. For example, you're the only person that's walked a mile in your shoes for every single day of your life. So you understand fully what makes you tick, what brings you joy, the sadness, and then the whole spectrum of the human endeavor. So owning who you are, what it does, it helps you understand what are the different components of who you are. So I did a master's in analytical psychology, which was a Jungian framework. And what Jung did was he highlighted the different components of the human psyche. And essentially, he kind of categorized them in 3 ways. We have the conscious ego. So it's the part of us that goes out into the world and engages with the wider world. We then have the personal unconscious. That's the second one. And that comprises of all of our repressed ideas and feelings and memories that have been with us for day dot. And then we have the conscious unconscious. Now, this is the collection of archetypes and images and symbols that have been passed down from generation to generation. We only have to think of the Bible as one example of this. I'm not a practicing Christian by any stretch of the imagination, but I still remember the Lord's Prayer from my childhood days. So that's an example of this kind of collective symbolism that gets passed down. And so what Jung advocates is a sense of individuation. How do we grow into ourselves? And it's a way whereby there's this convergence of the conscious ego as well as the personal unconscious and the collective unconscious. But actually pulled together, wherever you are on the kind of journey of becoming yourself, is this sense of you are the only person that's walked in your shoes, so you have a real understanding of yourself. Now, if you have ceded that power, I'm going to actively encourage you to bring that power back to yourself. Now, it's something I actively practice, so I would say I'm somebody that has a standalone spirit, but also the ability to stand with others, befriend others. No man is an island, and I don't choose to be one, but I do understand the different components of me that make me up. I can stand comfortably in my own light and bask within it, but I can also stand comfortably and then throw the light onto other people and engage and grow with them. So it's really, really important that you become your own cheerleader, as well as a sense of knowing that you are your own best friend. Now, the wonderful poet and philosopher and essayist, Ralph Waldo Emerson. He wrote, and I just want to share this with you. So it's from this fantastic book written by, that's better, by Wayne Dyer. It's Wisdom of the Ages. And what Ralph was talking about was a sense of, I'm just going to read you a brief excerpt. Emerson speaks to the necessity of being a nonconformist, to be fully alive, and of resisting enculturation. Society demands conformity at the expense of individual liberty. He asserts it demands that you fit in or be an outcast. Emerson insists on the integrity of the individual mind, maintaining that it essentially is sacred. And so this relationship, this friendship, the best friendship that you have is with yourself, and treat it, in this very sacred way. It's going to engage you, it's going to empower you. And what it also does, it helps you identify what are the wonderful attributes you can bring into your friendships and relationships that you are contributing. So as baby boomers, we've lived 6, 7, 8 decades. We have an understanding of our own sense of wisdom, and sometimes it gets buried under other people's expectations. And so what I'm doing is actively encouraging you to step into the power of owning yourself as your first and best friend. And then obviously you can take that out into other relationships. That's really, really important. Linked to that, and it's the second one, is the cheerleader. So when you are your own best friend, you've got your goals and your dreams and your desires and your idiosyncrasies. It's about how you celebrate yourself. And so the second type of friend is the cheerleader. So it's your ability to cheerlead yourself. So you know what it is to be in self-validation, but also when you're seeking that in friendships. Now, the cheerleader is somebody who's so supportive of your goals and your dreams, and they aren't attached to it, but they are attached to you because they're the ones who are high-fiving you, telling you you can do it. On the days when we have our crap moments, not feeling our best, having a cheerleader in your corner is a wonderful reflection of somebody who's embodying your spirit and shining the light back onto you. So cheerleaders are supporters, essentially. And they're the ones who, as I say, high-five you. Now, I have a friend called Karen. And every single week since I've been doing my live streams, I show up here every Sunday at 3:30. She sends me either a voice note or she sends me a little text that is always about wishing you well on your live stream today. I hope it all goes well. She is an excellent example of a cheerleader. So we're friends, and she has an understanding of who I am, the things that really turn me on and float my boat and that I'm into. And she is somebody who actively supports me. There are other people, but obviously I'm just trying to pick one person who does this. So having a cheerleader in your corner is the person who's going to high-five you when you are high and when you are low. They're the sort of wind beneath your wings that keep you going. The third type of friend that I'm going to actively encourage you to go out into the world and to find is the adventurer. Now, this is the person who is still curious and still is has this sense of wonderment and awe and a childlike energy. Having the adventurer, so I'm going to put all of those descriptions under the category of the adventurer. Having them in your life is going to help expand your life and who you are, because they're the ones who have a can-do attitude and a why-not attitude. But there is the sense that they are really comfortable exploring themselves and also the world around them. And so when you have adventurers in your life, you go on adventures together. They could be the type of friend around an interest group that you have. So just think about the different interests you have or the hobbies that you have. Adventurers could be in those types of groups. So go seek them out, because they're the ones that are going to help you expand your horizons. I think about it from the point of view from an astrological lens. I think of the archetype of Jupiter. So Jupiter is the wise one. Jupiter is the ruler of Sagittarius, and Jupiter has gathered all the sort of world's knowledge and wisdom, and then sort of espouses on the wisdom that has been collected over the ages. Literally does match the title of this book, Wisdom of the Ages. It's very much represented by Jupiter. Now, the adventurer has this sense of, well, you know, there's something to be explored in the world, and I want to be part and parcel of it. And as baby boomers, as there's this sense of being snuffed out by the media's eraser, the adventurer is the person who's going to encourage you to really hone into what lights you up and what contributions you can still bring to the world. So adventurers, or, you know, people who are curious, they're not afraid to explore themselves, and being around them, they can shine the light on you that helps you explore yourself internally, but as well as externally. So who else have we got in the friendship group? The fourth one is the agent provocateur. I just love the way that rolls off my tongue, the agent provocateur. Now, the agent provocateur is the type of friend who is going to challenge you to grow into the highest and the best version of you. Now, you've lived 6, 7 decades and beyond, maybe. And the agent provocateur is going to be the friend who's going to call you out. We all know the type of friends, and we need those type of friends because they're the ones who are going to be pulling out or shining the light on our blind spots. They're the ones who are asking what could be felt and seen as provocative questions. They're the ones who are going to stop you in your track to help you think about. So agent provocateurs are critical thinkers within their own life, but they want to engage with you in a real substantive way that helps you dig beneath the surface, that makes you pause, makes you reflect, and they lead you, or can lead you, to self-awareness. Because when we are operating in our less conscious ways, and when we are operating and being led by our blind spots, what can happen is, in one form or another, we are trampling all over other people to get what we want. The agent provocateur is the person who's going to say, hold on a minute, I need to reflect something back to you. You know, we can critique our friends. Sometimes it might come across as being very direct, and other times it could be less direct, but the message is still the same. They are calling you to the higher and highest version of who you are. So we love agent provocateurs. And now, if you meet other agent provocateurs, I would see myself in all of the categories I'm giving you, because the whole idea is that these types of friends is that how we embed it in ourselves first. So I have 2 friends called Makita. I'm going to refer to the younger Makita. She's 25, and I will describe her equally as an agent provocateur. Now, she's an agent provocateur because she has, I would say, she's one of the most emotionally intelligent people I know. And so being around emotionally intelligent people allows you to just dive into the exquisite nature of human nature, the human condition. And she is somebody who's able to really zone in on the idiosyncrasies that we all have, but it's about the invitation and the dance of the conversation as to, well, what does that really mean? And then we kind of open up a conversation. So I have fantastic friendships, and she's just one example of an agent provocateur. Now, she has what could appear to be a soft demeanor, but such a penetrating mind. Fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. So we need our agent provocateurs to help us chip away or smooth out those rough edges that allow us to kind of breathe into ourselves, be into ourselves, and lead from this point of authenticity, but also with this kind of curious, inquisitive mind. Agent provocateurs all the way is what I say. Then we have another category of friends, and I'm going to put them under the kindness bracket. So they're kind, they're fun, they're caring, and they are reliable. These are great friends. And I was out with 2 of them yesterday. So I turned 60 5 weeks ago, I think. I'm still celebrating my 60th birthday. Hey, why not? So I was out with a couple of, they come from my teenage stroke 20s, early 20s years. And they have been friends since they were 4 years old. Anyway, we met for this wonderful afternoon. We were ladies who lunched that got into dinner, and I didn't get home till 10 o'clock last night. So we had this beautiful meal, lovely vegan nosh, champagne, and lots of rum punch that took me back, because one of the friends, Denise, makes this fantastic rum punch I haven't had for a long time. But they are wonderful examples of kind, caring, supportive, fun. You know, you can reminisce with them, you can go back in time, but also, obviously, we've all changed, as we should. And there are common elements that hold us together. But the central thing is this sense of kindness and throwing the light on each other. Now, kindness is really important to me, because on the back of my phone, I have one of my values, which is kindness. And kindness, as well as freedom, are my two highest values. So on the back of my phone, I don't know if you can see that or read that, it says be kind. So we need friends, whichever hat they're wearing, but there's a central aspect of them that is kind. And they are the supportive friends that are there for you in the good, the bad, and the damn right ugly. We know those types of friends. But also, they're the friends who can hold space for you, but equally not be your therapist. Because, you know, as a baby boomer, 6-7 decades in, if you're still grappling with aspects of your shadow side, then a wonderful gift you can give yourself is to take on some type of therapeutic development, be it counseling or therapy. It doesn't matter what you call it, but it's going to be with somebody who doesn't know you, who is able to show you the mosaic of who you are. And so these kind, caring, supportive, fun friends are equally part and parcel of helping us have this sense of belonging and less isolation and the reduction of depression. They embrace us, they hold us. So they are a great category of friend to introduce into your life. And then we have the sixth. And the sixth type of friend is the bridge builder, the connector, the network. So Denise is certainly one of these people in the area that she lives. She lives in the area. She grew up in the area and she works in the area. And she is a phenomenal connector of people. She has a very expansive network, and she is the type of person that has this kind of cross-pollination in the very healthy way as to connecting people. So you need bridge builders or connectors or networkers that can help plug you in and engage with you or point you to resources. Another friend that I have like this is Christine. So Christine is great. She has a similar type of energy. So we need these types of friendships to help us expand, to help us grow, to help us reflect, to help us fill our own toolkit. Because if we can embody, and that's what I'm encouraging you to do, if you can begin to embody all of these qualities in yourself, then you're bringing a richer bag of you into your relationships, into your friendships. And so therefore you become interesting as a person, and then you can become interested in other people. So therefore you're the person who can be there, be present to what's going on in front of you. A lovely compliment that I've been paid over the years in different ways is that I'm really present to what's going on in front of me and who I'm around. And I'm really proud of that compliment, because it's the ability to be with people where they are and take in their narrative and story. And I'm inquisitive and curious. So I love engaging with people in those particular ways. So we want this sense of social connection. We want this sense of belonging. We want to feel less isolated. It's also a way to lower depression, improve mental health, improve mental well-being, and to feel included. So they're the 6 types of friendships. The first one is with yourself. Know yourself. I think it was Shakespeare who said, to know thyself is to be true. And there is so much truth in that. Also being your own cheerleader and seeking that in friendships because you know you can offer that to other people. Becoming the adventurer in your own life, but also seeking that as the type of friendship that you would like to bring into your life. The agent provocateur, the one who's going to challenge you, or the people who are going to challenge you, because it can be more than 6 people. There could be, you know, a conflation of these different qualities in maybe, you know, one person, or there might be what you're going to describe as your village of people. So the agent provocateur, the kind, caring, fun, the ones who are reliable and they're going to recharge you, and then the bridge builders. Another example of a bridge builder in my life is a woman called Palma, and she runs a fabulous network called Soul Purpose 360. And one of my wonderful subscribers from last week, literally, left a message. I can see there's a couple of messages come up here, so I'll turn to those in a minute. And we share a group together. And so she reached out to me, and we're meeting tomorrow, which is fabulous. So through Bridge Builders, I now have met a new acquaintance who could become a really great friend, and we're meeting tomorrow. So the potential for friendships are everywhere. If you're thinking about the agent provocateur, where could I find an agent provocateur? Agent provocateurs could be in your interest group. So I've rejoined my book club. I used to be part of a book club many years ago, for many years. And then for about 10 years, I haven't been part of a book club. But then I bumped into somebody from the book club. And so, hey, I'm back into the book club and we're meeting on Tuesday. Now, book clubs are great places because books, as you can see, I have many of them, and I have another bookcase in my bedroom. But books bring us into so many different worlds. And when you're part of a book club, obviously, if you've read the book, or maybe you haven't read the book, this book didn't really hold my attention. But nonetheless, what happens is we have these wonderful discussions. And in the discussion about the themes that arise from the book, you have agent provocateurs because they could present different ideas. And there's many times it's like, oh, I didn't think of it that way. So they are a wonderful resource to be part of. Another example where you could find agent provocateurs here in the UK, I don't know about elsewhere, but the universities in the UK have public lectures, and they're fantastic. And these public lectures can talk about global issues, they can talk about local issues, you know, they're themed across academic subjects, I suppose, but just the human condition. They are brilliant. So ones here in the UK, like we've got the London School of Economics, there's City University, I've been to theirs, London, South Bank University, King's College, they're everywhere. So these public lectures are also great places because they are places where ideas are being discussed and debated. And again, agent provocateurs live within those environments. So I'm actively encouraging you to find these places. Don't be afraid of the world as you continue to age. There is, you know, COVID showed us how much we do need each other. You know, there was this great sense of isolation or being alone. So I live alone like millions of other people. So the being by myself, with myself, is not a difficult thing for me to do. And actually, I really enjoy it because I can pull a lot of energy from my own life that helps me revitalize and regenerate myself. And so therefore, I can bring myself into my other relationships. But the COVID experience really showed us the need and for us to have friendships, why it's so important. And what can happen is that we can become disconnected or lose contact. So I've done this video today's show, because there is this sense of connection, but also I think people are embarrassed to admit, I felt lonely at times, or I'm alone, or, you know, I struggle to make friendships, or how do I begin to make friendships? I'm quite an introvert. Where do I start? And yet I still want to connect with others. And hence why today's show is very much about what type of friendships. There's a whole range of other types of friendships, but you get the sense, I hope, of what I'm suggesting to you all. Friendships help to imbue us with a sense of connectivity. They bring love and joy and laughter, curiosity. They just make our lives far more fulfilling. So, wherever you are on the friendship journey, whether it's acquaintanceships that you're seeking to build out, or really close friends, or really good friends, make time for your friends. I'm very intentional. And in fact, that's how I connected with my friend Karen, which we haven't actually met because we met on a webinar to do with pro aging. And as you all know, I'm a pro aging baby boomer. And so we picked up a conversation from that webinar, and we've literally been in contact with each other every single week. And we were really clear about we're baby boomers, and we share a psychology in that we're really intentional about either deepening existing friendships or building new friendships, real friendships. So there are people everywhere who are waiting to be connected to. Be that person that reaches out. Don't always be the one hanging back. Bring yourself into your environments, into your relationships. So I now just want to say hello to a few people because I can see people have posted. And oh, here's Karen. Hi there, Bybreen. Great stuff. Thank you so much. Let me pop this on the screen. I hope that's come up. And there's a message from Mon Taylor. Hi. Oh, sorry, you're late. And this is Mon Taylor is the person I'm going to be meeting tomorrow. As I said, we share a particular group. So great to see you here, Mon. Thank you. And she's saying, that's me. We've got a few of Mons here. She's saying, that's me. I'm so looking forward to meeting tomorrow. Same here, Mon. That's lovely. And oh, she's a bibliophile too. So there we go. We've got already something to start talking about. Friendships are important. Me being with a couple of my old friends, the childhood stroke 20s friends yesterday, was just a wonderful elixir that just added to my life, to my day. And we're planning to meet up, later on in the year. So wherever you are, don't be embarrassed about admitting, engaging with yourself, wanting to improve yourself, wanting to uplift yourself, wanting to share parts of yourself, because this is about living in a far more enriching way. And friendships with yourself primarily, so there's a solidity in which you're approaching the world, then with other people is going to be enriching and rewarding, and will help you to live a very expansive life. So one of my friends yesterday, Caroline, she said, you're really a busy person. Where do you get time to kind of fit in, rest time? And I said, I do. I build it in because I need to revitalize and rejuvenate myself so that my life is balanced. It's very busy, which I like, but there's also this sense of centering, grounding in myself that then helps me to regenerate my own life and then hopefully touching other people. So I'd love to hear where you are on your journey of friendship. Do you have friends? Do you not have friends? Are you uncomfortable about friendships? Are you really desirous of friendships? Where are you? What does friendship mean to you? How are you a friend to other people? I'd love to hear. Put your comments in the comment box below. Also like, share, subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification bell, so that you're going to be aware of when I post, whether I go live or whether I upload my shorts or whether I do videos. I'd love to connect with you. Don't be bashful. Put your comments in the comment box below and invite other baby boomers who are seeking to reinvent themselves, because my raison d'etre here is about helping baby boomers reinvent themselves psychologically, practically, and technically, so they can thrive in their third act of life. And so the idea about friendship is an attempt to help build you psychologically and to improve your well-being. So stay well, beautiful people. I will see you again next Sunday here, 3:30 GMT time. Have a great week, and I'll see you again next week. Bye-bye.